And it's alright with me. It's alright with me. It's alright with me. And it's alright with me. It's alright.
Good morning. This is Taillinh Agoyo on Rise and Thrive, Indigenous Art, Culture, and Joyful Acts of Resistance on Usula Media. I hope everybody had a wonderful day with your families yesterday. Today, I have a very special guest, and I'm so happy to welcome Zachariah Julian. Zachariah, hello. Zachariah is from the Hickoryah Apache Nation. He has been playing piano for over 20 years. Zachariah started composing when he was 15 years old and attended University of New Mexico, majoring in music theory and composition. He has performed nationally, including premiering an original musical at the Mashantucket Pequot Museum in Connecticut. He has just recently released his new album, These Marked Trees, available on ZachariahJulian.com, which is beautiful album, so check it out. Good morning, Zachariah. Thank you for joining us so early, New Mexico time.
Good morning. Yes. No, I'm blushing, like all the accolades there. So thank you. Thank you. I always joke around that when I do morning shows that this is the earliest show I've ever done. No, this is the earliest now. It's 9 a.m. here.
Right. The day after Turkey Day, so it's a groggy morning.
Yes. Got the turkey hangover, right. It's delicious. How are you today?
I'm wonderful. I'm very happy to see your face. Zachariah also works with me at We Are the Seeds, and so because of the quarantine, we work together a lot over email. But it's nice to see you in person, or kind of in person. Yeah. Let's talk about music though today.
Okay.
I know you just recently released your album, and I would love to talk about the process of, finally making the decision to release an album. And then also you've been working on a music video.
Yes. Please ask away. The music video is coming along. It is a music video on one of the songs on my album. So Many Words. It's one of the kind of more sadder tracks, kind of very a lot of tension in it. It was written. It was dedicated to my sisters who passed away, unfortunately, but I wrote it about them, and so writing the music video has been very interesting, especially during COVID, and trying to utilize everything I have in my apartment and surrounding area, and trying to stay away from people. But it's been really nice. But recording the album, finally sitting down and recording an album at the Rio Grande Studios, which is just an amazing studio, and having the thing that actually really helped me with that album was I have a great producer. His name is Ken Riley. He's over at Rio Grande Studios, and his welcome environment and his flexibility, being able to work with different types of all kinds of different musicians. He was the one that really saved that album and myself, because I went in there knowing I wanted to record an album. And I'm sure studios get this all the time, where musicians show up and just throw money like, here, I want to record an album. But he really saved it. He sussed out the songs. He realized, like, oh, this is a blues rock song. This is a ballad. This is an art song. And he just kind of directed and made this beautiful piece of work. I mean, I actually talked to him yesterday, and we're going back into the studio on January 22nd through the 24th. We're recording the second album finally, Oblique. It's a lot of fun. And I just found out yesterday that we're doing it. So yeah, I'm excited. It's going to be great.
Congratulations. That's very exciting. I think that is the beauty of having an incredible team. And that's the importance of it, is that you come in with your own brilliance and your own knowledge and what you want to do. But if they can step in and see your vision and pick up on it and add layers to it, then you've created this amazing team. So I'm really excited to see what happens with Oblique, because yeah, your first album, These March Trees, is just gorgeous. And so right now it's available on your website, zachariahjulian.com, and through all the streaming music.
It's on every
like
every
the
digital platform
iTunes
out there.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And what has the response been? Well, often we talk about just as a musician, but also as a native musician, how people perceive you or what their expectations are of you. So what has the response been with this album?
There was a lot of, it was a mix of things.
Yeah.
I mean, first of all, it was a huge learning experience for any musicians out there releasing your first album. It's terrifying because you realize, especially for an artist and musician like me, where I'm an open book, you listen to my album, you kind of realize the person I am and kind of the struggles that I've gone through personally. And having that much exposure, but realizing that people will be listening it through their filter, through their perspective, and the music becomes the soundtrack to their life and their kind of experiences through life. But yeah, the experience from like my friends and family were like, oh, we love this. This is art. This is different. This is new. And that's, I think the biggest word I hear is this is unique, it's different, which makes me happy as an artist and a musician, because I wanted to take a different avenue of combining all these genres together. And then the scary part is you lose people because it becomes harder to be accessible if you just have this variety of sounds. So the more important things to me were the people, new listeners, new fans, people coming to me to listen to the first time, to my songs for the first time, and having the courage to say, hey, what did you think?
Mm-hmm.
And hearing the responses is great. Hearing their criticisms was very helpful, and I love criticism. So please, I have very, very thick skin. You have to have thick skin in this
Mm-hmm.
industry, because you will not please everybody, and they
Right.
will be very vocal if you don't please them, and that's fine. Everybody has their opinions.
Right.
But hearing their response, what I need to work on, and the horrible thing too, when I recorded the album, is I was just getting over this huge sinus infection, and I was sick.
Hmm.
But I was at the end of that. But I was on Dayquil in this album for 3 days, just
No
sitting there like,
way.
yeah, it was
Oh my
rough.
gosh.
But yeah, some of the criticism I get is like, oh, you sound tired on the song. And I'm like, well, yeah, I was very tired of
Oh,
that song. But
well, that
as a
must be from
musician,
people who really know you.
yeah, exactly. But like I said, hearing these new fans and new people coming out and saying, this song really spoke to me. Where did you write it? How did you write it? Where did it come from? And those are the people I like talking to, because they have an experience, and it's always scary to kind of tell them where the song came from, because then you ruin their idea of it, their story of it.
Mm-hmm.
So I always try to be very careful there, but I'm always open if you ever want to talk about anybody out there, if you want to talk about how I wrote some of these songs, how it helps me kind of vent my depression and stuff like that, my personal experiences of loss and stuff. Yeah, very open to it. So I'm not scared. Please criticize away. I love it.
That's wonderful. I think you have a wonderful attitude and approach, because it's not ultimately about you if everybody has things to say to you, right? So you're taking it in, but you're hearing it, but you're not taking it in, and you have a space for understanding and listening, but deciding what you want to do with that information, and that's really healthy. I want to go back, because you've been just doing music. And by the way, everyone listening, Zachariah is going to play for us in the next segment, which I'm so excited for. But you've been playing music and writing music since you were a child. How did you know?
I didn't. That's the funny thing. I the first time I ever wrote a song is I got dumped on Valentine's Day, and at this point
Oh,
I had been taking piano lessons, and I felt horrible. I thought,
yeah,
you're a
that's
kid. It's like
awful.
it's the end of the world. Nobody will ever love me. It was very tragic. It was cute now that I look back at it, but
Hmm.
yeah, I went home and I was blue, and I started just messing with the piano, and I started writing these really long songs. They were like 12 to 20-minute long songs.
That's
And
great.
I love my parents, but I feel bad for like subjecting them to these boring songs. But that's when I realized, oh, this is an outlet. But it's a long story. But the short end of it is I graduated high school. I kept playing piano. It was a hobby. I went to Santa Fe Community College. My parents talked me into going to community college. So I went to community college, and the piano teacher there was like, you have a gift. You should really go to UNM, the University in New Mexico. And he's like, there's a world-renowned theory department there that the people haven't figured out yet. And I'm like, no, University of Mexico.
Yeah.
And he was right. I went to the University of Mexico, and I got taught by like top tier teachers. My piano teachers from Juilliard. Her name is Pamela Victoria Pyle. Stunning. And there I started learning composition from a German teacher named Christopher Schultz. I think he's German. Um, and I credit him for breaking me. After I took one of his classes, I couldn't compose for a year, because it was just this new concept. Because all my life, everybody kept telling me, you're an amazing composer and artist. And I got to UNM into the composition department, and it was like hitting a brick wall at 60 miles an hour. Like I realized I didn't know what I was doing.
Hmm.
I'm really good at writing from my emotion, from my heart. But there's only so much you can do with that.
Hmm.
Eventually, you got to start bringing in the logic. You got to start bringing in the theory, the
And it's,
teaching, the
yeah.
training. So after that, I started studying under William Wood, Professor William Wood, who was more of a kind of romantic, classical, kind of old school, Beethoven, Brahms, kind of Schumann, Debussy-esque composition teacher. And he was the one I credit for putting me back together. And I'm so thankful for both of those composition teachers. And yeah, that's really where I started taking it seriously. I didn't start taking composition seriously until 2009, I want to say. And that's when I started realizing, uh, hey, I can write music um, that is accessible to people. It just helps me with my issues an artist and as a person. It helps me get it out. And yeah, that's really the relationship I have with music. I realize that I could help others with the music that I have, that I'm able to write, and I'm able to entertain, and also help myself at the same time. So that's how it all kind of just came together. Like, oh, and then I recently met you like 4 or 5 years ago. Before with that, I was doing like I was getting hired by Emergence Productions here in
Hmm.
New
Yeah.
Mexico,
It's a great,
and
great organization.
yeah, and that's actually how they
How
hired
we
me, and then I
met.
met you. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, that's how it came together. But I wanted to write music for movies and commercials and video games. That's originally how it started. And then I was one of my dear friends was an opera singer. She's a sopranos. Um, and I got comfortable enough around her to compose and practice. And she started singing to my songs. And
Mm.
at this time, I was still writing these long, thought out pieces. And I never even thought about adding voice to my ideas. And she was really the one that opened that door of like, you should try singing to these songs, and it was like new colors for me. It was like, it was right in front of me. So I started condensing the songs, going more looking at the pop format, the rock format, the blues format. And recently I got into jazz, which has just been wild. It's really has changed the entire landscape of my composition and understanding of music and music theory.
That is incredible. What a journey so far, but you've only kind of just begun. And do you think that you will ever, is it still your goal to do film?
Yes. So typically what the composition majors, I mean, the composers that you experience in movies and TV shows and video games, a lot of them are teachers, and they've been in the industry for years. And one of the cool movements that's happening right now is singer-songwriters like myself are being asked to compose music for movies. You look at Trent Reznor from Nine Inch Nails, who did brilliant work for The Social Network. He won an Oscar, I want to say. He's just got inducted to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. You look at Tom York from Radiohead, and these musicians came out from like industrial metal. In the case of Nine Inch Nails, industrial metal, heavy metal, to now composing music for motion pictures and winning awards. So it's really, the landscape is really definitely changing. But yeah, that is something I do want to get back into, and that's what I would say. This is my avenue into that, and that's one of my personal philosophies, beliefs, is to have many eggs in many baskets.
Mm-hmm.
So that basket is still there of me wanting to write music for television and movies and stuff like that.
Yeah, that will happen. Yeah, and as long as you keep just doing what you love and what you're passionate about, it all tends to unfold when it's ready to. So
yeah, it really is.
On that, we're going to take a break, and when we come back, we're going to have some amazing music. So stay tuned. This is Rise and Thrive with Taillinh Agoyo and Zachariah Julian on Usula Media.
Don't wait. Communicate. Make your emergency plan.
And we're back on Rise and Thrive with Zachariah Julian. I'm so happy. And I've been looking forward to this because I feel like we all just need to hear some beautiful music, you know? And so here you are presenting it to us. So I'll let you take it away if you want to chat a bit, if you want to play. And I'm actually going to shut my video off because no one needs to see me like watching you. So, but I'll come back.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, go for it.
Yeah. Hello, everybody. I'm going to play one of the new pieces for you. Like I said earlier, I will be, me and my band, Rob Pierce, who's my guitarist, will be in the studio in late January recording a new album. It's going to be my sophomore album. I'm very happy about it. It's going to be kind of a darker, more kind of jazzy tone to it. And I'm going to play one of the pieces for you, and I'm going to kind of tease some other pieces for you from the album. I won't play the whole section of the other pieces, but I'll definitely play the whole piece for this one. This one is called Juxtaposed. I wrote this at the beginning of January, and I wrote it in about a month. It helped me understand. I was learning jazz, and I wanted to understand jazz more. So the way my brain works is I just started immediately composing with the chords and looking at the harmonies and transitions and how everything is related. And this song came out, and I ended up in a talent show up here in El Dorado, New Mexico. Came in second place. I was very happy. I lost to Cirque du Soleil. They had some amazing acrobats that performed there, and I was very honored to lose to them because it's Cirque du Soleil. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoy it, and yeah. Juxtaposed so I can see. Juxtaposed so I can see. Captivating till deja vu steps in and I can read your tale. La da da da, la da 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 da, la da da da. Don't tell me your life is just a dream. All those merry men who couldn't put you together again. I'm gonna sit on this wall, I'm gonna have a great fall, gently down the stream. La da da da, juxtaposed so I can see. Juxtaposed so I can see. Captivate me to deja vu steps in and I can read your tale. La da da da, la da 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 da, la da da da. Don't tell me your life is just a dream. All those itsy bitsy spiders trying to spin the webs again for you. I'm gonna sit on this wall, I'm gonna have a great fall. My fair lady, the bridges are burning down for you, for you. For you. Captivate me like deja vu. Captivate me like deja vu. Captivate me like deja vu. Like deja vu. Don't tell me you're superstitious. We're talking to the stars. You wonder how you got so perfect and so far from where you are. Cast the stone down the well and find repose. It's deja vu. It's deja vu. Don't tell me that
You're superstitious, we're talking to the stars. You wonder how you got so perfect and so far from where you are. Cast a stone down the well and find repose. It's deja vu, 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 deja vu.
Thank you.
That is so beautiful and so beautiful. Thank you. And I love watching you perform. That's one of the things. It's great hearing your music streaming, but when you perform live or even on this Zoom, you just have so much of the music in you. And you seem, I don't know if happy is the right word, because some of your music's very moving and emotional, but you just have this kind of light that is incredible. So if you ever get a chance, sure, if you ever get a chance to see Zachariah perform live, do it. It'll move you very much. Do you want to?
I won't be as sleepy as well.
Yeah, like we're on Zoom. This is COVID quarantine 2020.
Oh, yeah.
It's almost like anything goes, and we're doing the best we can. And you're doing amazing. So, and I really appreciate you being here, because I do know, like I said, it's early and
No.
we're just doing our thing. So we have a few minutes before the next break. Do you want to do another song, or do you want to chat?
Yeah, you wanna chat, or would you like to? I can show you like an example of one of the pieces that will be in an album as well.
Yes, please do. Yes.
Yes, this one is a love song. I recently fell in love. It's a whole new thing for me. After living alone for 20 years, I'm living with somebody now, and she's my soulmate. She's amazing. But this song is called "How Like You," HOW. Yeah, and I'll show you a part of it.
Why'd you stare just so long to hold me, to draw me? Palate consumes. You're so crazy to try. Timbre or you, opal and rue, violent muse. Let's just say hypothetically that I'm defined by you. Karma crashing to me. Oh, retrograde and two-stepping oh violently into me. Like an animal, you're an animal. Like an animal, you're an animal.
But yeah, that's a little segment of How Like You. It goes into this beautiful kind of breakdown. And I don't really want to play that part because the guitar solo that goes over that section is just, it's poetry. Like Rob Pierce is just one of the most amazing guitarists. Has really propelled my music writing style forward because it's this friendly competition between us. But his solo, I'm just saying, you're gonna love it. You're gonna love it on the album. I'm so excited. I can't wait till you hear it.
I can't wait either. Rob is amazing. And you actually did, for a series of interviews for We Are the Seed, you interviewed Rob.
Yes. Rob Pierce is actually he's a heavy metal artist. That's what he does.
That was a great interview.
Yeah. I used to be the lead singer in his band back in the day, back when I was in high school. So I was in a metal band, and I was like rah 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 rah. It was fun stuff. Though. I really enjoyed it. That teenage angst, just getting it out.
Right. You got to get it out some way or another. So that interview is on We Are the Seeds YouTube page. It's so good. I love Rob because I don't know him personally. I think we may have met at Seeds, but he's just very still. But has so much to say when he says it. Like I recommend watching that interview and watching, because you've known each other for so long.
Yeah, we grew up together.
Right. And so it's kind of like a dance. It's beautiful to watch. So check that out.
Definitely.
That song is gorgeous. Tell me about preparing for the new album. What's your process?
I wrote half of it at the end of summer and kind of fall, winter last year is when I came up with 3 of the songs. And then I came up with 2 more of the songs kind of during that time, but they were just ideas. And I've gone through this kind of huge healing transition through my life recently where I've just kind of fixed myself. Like I realized, I can't live like this forever. And I started taking care of myself mentally and physically, lost a lot of weight, cut back on the drinking, and just really, really focused on my craft and my art. And it's really changed my ideology and the way I approach things and the way I approach people. So writing, and I fell in love. And so coming out of this like cloud into this whole new cloud and this new world and this bubble and combining them, you can hear the kind of friction of not wanting to change, but realizing I have to change. Because when you start looking down the barrel of middle age, you have this kind of retrospective of who you were, and it's like you're a stranger now to your memories, and absorbing that and consuming that and putting that through your music. That's been the process of writing this, and that's why I feel Oblique will be a darker album, like I said. And there's a lot going on. There's a lot of noise, but it's beautiful noise, and there are moments where you can take a break. So I do make it accessible, but it's going to be quite different, and I'm very excited about it.
How has this year with the COVID issues and the lockdowns hurt or helped your work?
I miss Rob. I haven't seen him in a long time now. We talk over the phone, we message each other, but actually sitting down with him beside me and just hammering out ideas, I miss that. So it's kind of been like, well, I'm in my own space, he's in his own space. So I try to work and think about how I can fit him into my music instead of him not being here.
Right.
How do I add him? So I'm always constantly, he's always there in my brain when I'm writing songs. Like Rob will come in here, he'll be here. But it's really made me go into myself because I am very an antisocial person. I don't hang out much with people. And I love people, don't get me wrong. It's just not my cup of tea. But now that I'm like forced to stay home and this introspective, like constantly looking at myself and what has come out of that is more complexity, more lyrics, a better process, realizing my faults as a musician, realizing I need to work on my voice more, I need to work on my piano voice leading more, pedagogy, learning suspension, legato. So I've been trying to make pearls out of this, and by doing that, I've been working on myself so I can help others. As cheesy as that sounds, this is how we do it, folks.
Right.
Like, this is the way we do it right now. We lead the way. We
Right.
need leaders. Yeah.
Absolutely. And on that, we're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, we'll have more music and discussion with Zachariah Julian. This is Taillinh Agoyo on Usula Media. Stay tuned.
There's a lot of fear in coming back to school. I wasn't sure if I could do it. Experience. It really is.
Find free adult education classes near you.
I just have so much gratitude for this moment right now, because I feel like the past few weeks have been really hectic and with work, and it's Native American Heritage Month. As you know, this is our busiest time of year because people are looking to us for information and knowledge, and it's really been a really good month, but it's been very exhausting. So this is like yesterday, just being able to have the day off and to reset with our families and the people we love. And then today to be able to enjoy this music and this beautiful discussion with you is wonderful. I would like to know if you are ready to play another song.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, that's great. Let us know what it's all about, and I'll shut my camera off.
This song is "Be It As It May." It's a longer song, but I'm just gonna play kind of a section of it for you. It's on my album, which is available on my website, zachariahjulian.com, and all the digital platforms. Just write in my whole name. It's a long name, I know. Filling out the SAT and all those bubbles when I was a kid with a long name was very tedious, but anyway, this song is considered a ballad. I wrote it a long time ago. It's actually a funny story of where the song came from, but I'll tell it after I'm done. See you through the leaves, your hair's lost in the breeze, and I wonder, oh I wonder, and I wonder, closer to you. You light up the world, you're impossible. You stop the light and you let the world go. You tried to run, no, you tried to fly. The world held on anyway. And I wonder, oh I wonder,
as it may. You tried, and that's okay. There's a line you're trying to cross, and if you do, this world is lost. So you'll wander and wander and further away. Wander and further away. So be it as it may. Ooh. So be it as it may. Ooh. Yeah, that song, Be It As It May, I wrote a while back. And the only reason I wrote the song is Emergence Productions hired me for a little gig called IFAM. And they hired me for 45 minutes. And I realized I only had like 38 minutes of music. And I'm like, oh no. So I was like, I need to write what's called a filler song. I just need to write a song that's easy to play, that will, get the job done. Like I wrote a song. So I wrote that song.
Yeah.
And it came from like a wholesome place, but it was just like, I just need a song there. And people ended up really, really liking it and loving that song. So it became a big piece in my repertoire. Like it's always a song I play. I mean, depending on the show, of course. I'm not going to go to a bar and play that because I'm bringing everybody down.
It's just everybody be buying more drinks. Oh my God. You need another. I'm telling you, I was just like watching you and had all the feels, and it really popped me back to IFAM actually, which it was a show that I was one of the producers on in Santa Fe, and it was called Indigenous Fine Art Market. That's where Zachariah and I met. And I remember, and who knows, but I remember being on stage, asking you if I could photograph and film you while you were playing. And it was early morning or something, and the sun was shining. And see, I'm going to start crying because I just remember, I can feel the emotion of it and just how gorgeous that moment was in what your music did to kind of narrate what else was happening at that time with the move to this new show and a lot of the chaos that was happening. It really calmed it. And oh gosh, it was just magic. And I knew at that point that you and I would find a way to do things together. It was just at that moment. And we didn't know, I can see it. Like I could see myself on stage with you and just being like, can I do this? Is it okay? And you're like, sure. And it was just, and that's it. I walked away, probably didn't talk for another year, but
yeah, we did,
right?
like afterwards we became friends on Facebook, and then I didn't see you for like another year. Yeah.
And now we work together a lot, but it's gorgeous. And I love that you told that story, because it really does show that creativity and the impact can come from so many different places. You can mull over something for months, or you can make something in 3 minutes as a creative person. It all is you, and it all comes together. It all makes sense. So anyway, I love that song.
No,
I really do.
It took me a while to fully understand the piece. And then once I did, I realized what I could do with it. And it's really changed. There's actually new versions that we're writing now for that piece to kind of make it more just different styles. It's kind of one of the things I'm doing now with my music is kind of going back and playing them differently, seeing them in a different light, and just finding this new avenue because I'm a different person from when I originally wrote them.
That's really
So
fun.
it is a lot of fun. I will admit it is very, very fun.
Yeah.
But playing, be it as it may, in a different style has been really interesting. But it doesn't lose its tone, its emotion. It still has that sense of tragic loss, but hope. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm
It's a
all
fun song.
shook right now. Sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. I remember that morning in Santa Fe at IFAM. I was playing Crown.
Yes, Crown.
That was a good morning. You were right. It was beautiful. Weather was perfect. It wasn't too hot. There was a great crowd. And you came on the stage, and I didn't know who you were at the moment. And you just had this camera, and you were like right there. And that's one of the things as like artists and musicians that you just have to be ready for. You never know when somebody's gonna do that. And it was fun. It was fun. It was awesome, and it's led to a great friendship. And,
Yes.
so yeah, thank you. It was a good day.
It was a good day. So let's talk in the bit we have left. I want to talk more about your other creative processes. You know, you're making these films, you're doing your video, and like you said, because of the restrictions, you've had to be super creative about figuring out how to make different lights. I mean, if you go onto Zachariah's Facebook page or follow Zach on Instagram, you'll see so many incredible images that Zach puts up, and he's making that the whole production's like mostly in your studio, in your apartment, in your house. So, but it's just absolutely brilliant to see what you do with lighting and with what you have accessible. So can you talk a bit about that?
Yeah, it's this all kind of happened when we started the Gathering Seeds project earlier this year, and I started running out of ideas. I'm like, what am I going to do? Like, how am I going to do this? I want to do all these things, but I can't really go outside. I can't really ask people for help. How do I do this? And so I started looking around, and I grew up in the 80s and the 90s when movies and commercials relied on practical effects like food coloring or paper mache or just things of that nature, and good lighting, like really good lighting. I mean, now everything's just done on the computer. Like, oh, we don't like that lighting, we'll fix it. I mean, fixing is one thing, but completely changing it is another, and they're completely changing it. So I started researching and looking at how these artists did these things, kind of visual art. And it's amazing what you can do with 2 lights and a couple of jars of food coloring, and just having patience, just really understanding what you want to say, how you want to say it, and really looking at your art afterwards before you share it with anybody. Just analyze it and ask your artist friends, like, what do you think? And then you start realizing you're saying things that you didn't mean to say. And then once you realize that, you start kind of going down this avenue, you follow that itch, and it changes. These doors open, and that's really how that happened. It was from Gathering Seeds. It's been a very fruitful project for me, specifically as an artist, and seeing what we're capable of doing with what we have. I mean, you don't need these, $1 million studios. You don't need these huge things. You can just do it at home. Just get some flour and water and let your imagination go wild, with some newspaper, of course. So yeah, that really came from that. And the music video it will be out by the end of the year. It's been a process for me, because I was telling my friends, I'm like, I did 3 hours of video, just recordings of random things. And now I got to squeeze that into like 3.5 minutes.
Right.
And then once I started doing that, I realized it's not ready. This isn't what I'm trying to say. And so I started shooting again. And that's part of the thing of being an artist and musician, is you just have to toss stuff. I mean, and then it's fine because
you have to be an editor.
Yeah, you be an editor, be a very good editor, be strict on yourself, have that high bar. If it's below it, rethink it, figure it out. And that's what the music video has been. So now I know where I'm going, how the tone is. It's kind of this Neil Gaiman-esque kind of modern fantasy horror music video that I'm actually very proud of. It's going to be interesting. And the song, if anybody who hasn't heard the song, So Many Words, you can check it out. It's a pretty tragic song. So finding the language visually to complement the music and the lyrics and the piano, it's been a challenge, and it's been a fun challenge.
Wow, that's amazing. I really look forward to seeing it. We have to close out soon, but I want to touch on what you're saying about just making the work, doing the work. And that's where you're really inspiring, because no matter the circumstances, like Gathering Seeds, you facilitated and produced this whole project with 7 other artists, and everybody created a piece a week for a month. And what was created was gorgeous and brilliant. Everybody was under restrictions and had limited resources, and there wasn't a budget, and the creativity was through the roof. And that was a big lesson about, we just put our heads down and we work, and we keep working. And something my father that always resonates with me, my father's an artist, and he always would say this from when I was a child, that nothing is a masterpiece. People would say, "Oh, you're so brilliant, this and that." And, they'd say, "Where's that piece?" He said, "Oh, I gave it away. I sold it." And they'd be like, "Why would you do that?" And he's like, "Because my next one is going to be better. Nothing, I won't sit around like staring at my work, at how wonderful it is." And that's always resonated with me, how as artists and like producers, we need to just keep pushing, and it opens and opens and becomes an exponential process for creativity. So it was really wonderful sharing with you today. We have a couple of minutes left. Would you like to play us out?
Yeah. I'll play a part of one of my newer pieces called Tattoo.
Okay. Thank you so much. And thank you for everybody listening today. We'll see you next week.
Yes, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you for bringing me in. Wild and crazy, I know. I've heard the story before. When you used to lead me. Strange how the scene played 100 times in me, and I still can't find the words to say. While I'm tripping, the whole world's skipping a beat, and I can't breathe. Check me out now, laughing out loud, the crowd's drowning me. I'm not wise, just reckless and kind of a failure. So it's just a little sample. Voice is a little dry. I apologize about that. It's absolutely been a pleasure to be here. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. And thank you everybody who's listening. And we have a new schedule if you want to check on uslamedia.com. The show will replay I believe every day this week except Monday. So check out the times and share with your friends and family. Have a great weekend, everybody. Appreciate you, Zach. Bye.
Take care. Bye-bye.